Thank you, Frank. Our next evaluator for John will be Joe. This is Joe Jones. He's evaluating John Spirito.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. It's my pleasure this evening to be evaluating John Spirito's hip pocket speech. It takes a lot of courage, as Frank was just saying, to get up and give a speech off the cuff, like Shlomo and John did this evening. His topic was an interesting one. Sleep. Something that everyone in here has in common, to some degree. And he gave us some interesting information from hip pocket speech. He discussed the different levels of sleep. Some of us were aware that there's 4 different levels, others aren't. The closest I could get to a suggestion, John, is if you gave the same speech again, that you would help us keep in order what those 4 levels are by saying the first level is, you don't run one with this, the second level is, the third level, and the 4th level is called, and you can give examples of each of those, but you keep our minds in order if you use the visuals with your fingers. The only other thing that I caught, it was early on in your presentation, is you used the term awoken. And I think, isn't the correct word awakened? So that's just a minor grammatical error that Sandy probably caught anyway. You always have good gestures. You notice what his primary gesture is? The open arm? That's an inviting speaking pose. And he does that naturally, every time he speaks. So I give you kudos for your body language and your gestures. You presented some information that I don't think we were expecting. If the topic is sleep, you went into the issue of concussions. And I'm sitting there trying to logically rationalize what's the connection between the stages of sleep and concussions. But then you went on to explain what you were talking about in concussions by using football examples. The example, and he didn't use this phrase, but in sports, and I've had this happen to me, he got his bell rung. That's what happens when you get knocked unconscious. And I've had that happen too. I know exactly what you mean. And you wake up and everything's kind of vague. You don't know what happened. You're totally in the present, and it's a strange feeling. But you used football as an example, and even though many of us haven't had our bell rung, we could sort of, in a way, understand the example that you gave us and the state that you're in when that happens. You did a good job for it to be a hip pocket speech and tying in at the end the issue of being in a hypnotic state to taking it to the next level by being in a subconscious thought, train of thought, by using your conscious mind. You had good projection. You always project well when you speak, so that's to your credit. And I looked at the rest of the group and observed, and you had everyone's attention throughout the entire presentation. Now, you've proven that you can give an excellent presentation that's prepared. And tonight, you proved you can give one that's not prepared. Congratulations.